What's going on, everyone? In this video, I'm going to show you how you made over $200 flipping books on Amazon, FBA, and doing that all from my house. If you're new to the channel, my name is Joji. I'm a high school teacher, but I also sell books on Amazon as a side hustle. Now, I don't have time to go to thrift stores or library sales because I teach a 9-to-5 job. I have a 1-year-old son. I have a wife. And so I really just source really late at night, and I buy books specifically on Amazon and eBay and then resell them on Amazon for a profit. And what I'm going to do is show you how basically $530 in sales a day equated to over $200 in profit. So if you're ready to get into it, let's get started. Okay, so it is actually really late right now. It's basically 12:50 a.m. in the morning. So you can see the sales for today are $0 because nothing sold in the last 52 minutes. But you can see that yesterday I sold $523 worth of inventory. And what I'm gonna do is come up here to the top left and go to orders and click manage orders. And from there, you get to see that I have all these different books that I've sold, and you can see how long ago they sold, what timestamp it was. And yeah, I'm gonna go over basically all of the books that sold, starting with this one, the CIA and Cult of Intelligence, that sold for $48.55. And I know for a fact that this book has been showcased in another video because I've sold multiple copies of this book. And that's what's really great about this model is a lot of times you can buy and resell a book multiple times. Those are called replens. But this is a book that I bought on July 20th. You can see that I've actually purchased it on Amazon for $12.68. And so if I go ahead and put in the buy cost and the sales price, we made an $18 profit, 143% ROI on this book. And the reason why I bought it was that this is a book that has had multiple sales rank drops at well above what I could have bought the book for. So, this black line, which represents the lowest used price, basically if you go left or right over the keeper graph, you can see that it has sold in the $30 to $40 range. And so my thought process is, okay, if this thing generally can sell in the $30 to $40 range, and it's about $12 now. It's about a third of what it could sell for. So, it did end up selling for $48, made a good profit. Now, I know I sold this book before, so I'm going to come down here to the orders tab. And wow, yeah, you can actually see that this book is sold multiple times. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times over the last basically month. And basically all those books were bought for right around $12, all sold for right around like close to $50. So I'll take that. This is a book that would be a replen. I'm going to go ahead and track it. And so one of the ways that you can track a book to make sure you get notified if it ever gets that cheap again is come up here and click this little track product feature button. And you can see I'm tracking it actually for $10. I should probably update it and go to 12, but you can update it and track it for however long you want. And you can get an email notification or a Telegram message sent to you. So great first book. All right, the next book that we have is called Fires of Change. We sold this for $80. It sold $6.40 in the morning. And this is actually a Facebook Marketplace pickup. So this is something I picked up a while ago on Facebook Marketplace in my local area. And I think I paid $15 for it. So great deal. This is something that was basically worth right around $50 to $60. That's kind of the lowest used price over time. That's when the sales rank is dropping. So we know that the book is becoming more popular when the cheapest you could have bought it for is about $60. So we know that it's selling for at least $60. And so ours sold for $80. We got a little bit of the prime bump there, made a $43 profit. So great flip. Now, the next thing I sold is Thermodynamics. So this was sold for $58.75. And this was actually a flip mine purchase. So I got a ton of flip mine videos on how to do eBay to Amazon online arbitrage sourcing. So check out, one of these videos down here. Basically, you use a software called Flipmine, and yeah, check out those videos if you're interested in how to do that. But you can see from my eBay purchase history, I bought this for $17.32 on March 22nd. It just sold today for $58. So we made a $21 profit, 125% ROI. And again, what you'll notice for all the books that I buy everyone is that my purchase price is always well below kind of what the lowest use price is on average, right? So the whole way that this business model should be working is that you need to be able to identify kind of what has a book been selling for historically, and then obviously buy the book for significantly less than that. So if you can identify a book generally selling between $50 to $60, and you probably want to pick it up for about a third of that price. If you could pick it up for $14 to $20, that's probably going to be a good pickup. And so I'm really conservative with my buys. A lot of people are okay with lower ROIs like 30, 40, 50%. Generally though, I'm trying to at least hit the 100% ROI, which means trying to at least double my money. But yeah, this is a book that did great. Let's go to the next one. Okay, the next book that sold is the Black Stallions Steeplechaser. This sold for $46.91, sold at 8:38 a.m. Again, you can see factually that this was purchased on Amazon. This was bought on July 22nd. So July, August, September, about 2 months ago. You can see that there's evidence that I bought it for $12.75. So we go and put it, the buy cost and sell price, made 146% ROI and $18 profit. And by the way, everyone, all these books, with the exception of that Facebook Marketplace book I showed you, all of these books I'm buying online and then sending them to a prep center. My prep center sends them to an Amazon FBA warehouse. And then when someone buys it, Amazon ships it to the customer. So I actually don't ever even touched the book. I have no idea what the conditions like other than what was promised to me in the listing description from the seller. And that's what makes this business model so awesome, because I can sit here at 10:30 p.m. to midnight and buy books, and I don't worry about shipping most of them out. So great book here. I may have sold this book more than once. Yeah, I have actually sold it once more about a month ago for $55. So this is again a book that I bought multiple times. And if I find a book that is very niche, has a great subject matter, and has held a pretty good used price, then I'm more than happy to pick up a couple. I mean, this is a book, by the way, that doesn't even have that great of a sales rank. I mean, right now, before the last sales rank drop, it had a sales rank of 2.7 million. A lot of people would tell you not to even buy a book with a 2.7 million sales rank. You can see that its sales rank over the last 180 days is at 2.3 million, 1.3 sales rank drops per month. But this is bread and butter, guys. Like, don't be sleeping on books that have high sales ranks and only have few sales rank drops, because really what it comes down to is the price that you're buying the book at significantly less than what it has historically sold for. And one of the things that I always think about is, even if I buy books that have really high sales ranks, one way that I can make books sell faster is I can take a very niche book and list it for less than what it's historically sold for. So for example, a lot of the times I'll come across a book that, might only sell a couple times a year, but has sold for pretty much over $100 each time. And I might be able to pick up a couple copies. And you're like, well, Joji, the book only sells twice. Why are you picking up 3 copies? Well, I know that there's a very niche community that wants this book. It's always been offered for $100 the last 2 or 3 years. So, it just happened to be really cheap that one day when I bought them. And I can come in and instead of charging $100, I can say, you know what? Let's sell them for $50 because that can still be profitable for me. So there's plenty of ways to take books that don't sell very often and make them sell quicker. And that's one of the ways to do it. But another great book here. All right, and this book is absolutely insane. Handbook for Riggers. We sold this for $67.64. And the reason why this is absolutely insane is because this book actually comes from my main featured video on my YouTube channel, which is called A Secret Sourcing Strategy I'm Finally Releasing. Look at this, everyone. You can see good old Joji there. I think I'm actually wearing the same shirt, which is hilarious. And I was actually showing you guys how, this is a book that had 3 copies. You can actually see from my screen, basically $9, $9, $9. And if you were to go back and watch that video, you'll basically hear me say like, hey, there's tons of books that you can find using the secret sourcing strategy. I have it linked below, and look how funny it is. It says, here's how I consistently find books for under $10 and resell them for 30, 40, and even $50. So I had shown people in that video some books that I bought using the strategy and had actually sold. But then as part of the video, I did some live sourcing, and this is one of the books I came across. And so what's so funny about this is I said, you can buy these books for under $10. And if we come here, you can see I bought it on July 22nd. You can see that the buy cost was factually under $10. It was $9.36. And then what's hilarious is you can see I sold the book for $67. So it meets exactly what I said. So if you're interested in that free secret sourcing method that I haven't shared on YouTube, it's also going to be part of my Amazon Masterclass I'm coming out with. And make sure you go check out the main YouTube video on my YouTube homepage, because there's living proof that actually works. All right, the next book that sold, Community Ecology. This sold for $45. And actually, this book was also a Facebook Marketplace pickup a while ago. So I bought this book for $10 and was able to flip it for $45. This is a book that basically, Amazon is selling new for $50. The used prices are pretty high up there, $40 to $50. And, really good sales rank, selling pretty often, just bread and butter. Maybe a $17 profit. All right, the next book we're gonna look at is actually going to be the 8 months of color for USD hardness zones. So I sold this for $65, sold that at 3:38 p.m. By the way, I was still teaching high school, everyone. All these books that we're selling were when I was teaching the youth of America. So if you look at how much money I make to my salary, it might actually be comparable to my 9-to-5 job, teaching job. And it's really cool. So anyways, we bought this book on August 23rd, and I'll show you proof. You can see that I purchased this for $18.77. Again, it sold for $65, so we made a $29 profit, 155% ROI. And this is, again, another book that a lot of people would pass up on because sometimes it has a sales rank of up to 3.5 million. And so a lot of people are like, Joji, why would you buy a book with 3.5 million sales rank? Because for me, I think of Amazon and buying books as investing my money into assets. Like if you look at this book over the last 2,600 days, specifically, if we just look at it the last few years, this book's use price has almost never been below $40 to $50. And there have been repeated sales rank drops. And yeah, there have been times when the price has been cheaper, and those are the opportunities when you buy it. But in general, this is a book that holds value. I mean, go back to 2020, sales rank drops at $40 or more. So, if I can buy a book at half or a third of what it has historically sold for, I'm fine waiting 3 months, 6 months, and I didn't even have to wait this long. Like this book, I bought on August 23rd, and you can see that this is when I bought it when it underwent this reselling or this reprice. So I bought it with Keep a Product Finder. That's gonna be part of the Amazon Masterclass. Got tons of nice product finder filters to show you how to use that. But one strategy, again, going back to how do you get very long tail books to sell quickly? Well, you sell them for their cheapest price that they've sold for in the past. So like this is a book that a lot of people might try to exploit the buy box in and try to get an extra $30 for a prime seller, but it's a book that doesn't sell very often. So just sell it for what it's been worth, right around $60. You can see it sold for basically $65, $29 profit. All right, so the next book that we sold is Marcel the Pastry Chef. We sold this for $32.20. So you can see that we bought this on July 22nd for a total of $8.20. Now, again, if you scroll down Cupid chart, a lot of people look at this Cupid chart and go, Joji, what the heck? Like, why would you buy this book? Well, for me, it's like I see this book having repeated sales range drops above $25 to $29. I even see a sales range drop as high as $60 potentially. And this is a book that's kind of always ebbing and flowing in price, but a lot of people buy this book. And you can see like the offer count here in July was 22 and then eventually got all the way down to 0. So this is a book that when I came across it, I felt like this is a book that was at a really low offer count. It has had history, even in the most recent past, of selling for up to $45. So I felt like this is a book that'd be decent. It sold for $32.20, made $11 profit. I mean, we're not retiring early off to have one book, but it's like the small wins add up. It's $11 profit per book. It's it's something that could definitely easily be a replan. And so I don't even think I'm not even tracking the book. So I can come back here and say, okay, anytime this thing's $8.50 or less over the next 10 years, let me know. I might be interested in buying it again. All right, everybody. The last book that we're gonna look at is Algebra and Elementary Textbook. We sold it for $57.99. And you can see when I bought it here, this was Keep a Deals pickup. So it dropped down to $425 plus shipping. And if we look at the last 2,400 days, this is a book that has somewhat periodic sales range drops. It doesn't sell a ton, but it definitely sells. The lowest use price is almost, is always really high, really healthy. And it took a while to sell. It took 6 months to sell this, but we made a $31 profit off a $6.78 investment and made a 465% ROI. So you always got to think about what's the potential return on the investment. So like a $6 investment is not a lot of money, especially if you could potentially return $30. So if you have to wait a long time, like that's really great. And if you could stack up a lot of books like that, then you're gonna end up doing really well. All right, everybody, that's all I got for you. Just last thing I forgot to tell you guys, if you want to join my free Discord channel, you can do so below. It's linked down below, absolutely free. If you want to join the newsletter, absolutely free. You can get that down below as well. Again, I'm coming out with the Amazon Masterclass here soon. I'm working really hard on it. It's gonna be tons of videos. And if you find my content valuable, just remember that this is free content. And if you get the masterclass, that's paid content. So if you think the free content's good, then imagine what the paid content's gonna be like. So with that said, that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you on the next one, and goodbye.